we are joined now by Gregory Kelser, man. We've been doing this for a long time, talking about these camps. How many years have you been putting these camps together?
This is year 48.
48. You haven't been on this show for 48 years, but you've been doing that and impacting lives for a long time.
You guys have been very kind to let me come in and talk about it every year. I'm very appreciative.
Well, we're going to get to that in a moment. If you're at home and you're looking for something for your kids to do this summer, just grab a pencil, piece of paper, and you'll write down the information coming up here in just a moment. Plus, we'll have a QR code on the screen momentarily. Look, we talked about the Malik Beasley situation earlier in the show. Since you're so close with the Pistons, I do want to get your reaction to it and then ask you how difficult this makes some really tough decisions that they already had for Langdon and Bickerstaff.
Well, again, it shows that there's never just an easy path. You know, there's always some bumps, some pitfalls that you have to deal with when you're in the positions of leadership like Trajan Langdon and, of course, J.B. Bickerstaff and others. This is not good. This is not something that you would have ever wanted to be part of the summer process and the decision-making that has to go on. I know that the team was very close to inking Beasley again because he had such a great year last year, but maybe this puts a little halt to it while things get worked out. I'm hopeful that it's nothing. I'm hopeful that it's just a little twist, but then they can get right back to work building this team and building on the success that they had last year.
It seems so much of what they're building is dependent upon young players developing. Let me throw some guys at you and ask you where you think they need to improve, because we know they're talented. Let's start with Jalen Duren.
Well, Duren, I would love to see him be able to score a little bit outside of the paint, because last year 95% of his points came right in the painted area and at the basket. And I remember when he was at Memphis and then his first couple of years with the Pistons, he did demonstrate an ability to knock down a 14, 15-footer. If he does that, it makes him much more of an offensive threat and a more consistent threat to score and make other teams have to play him honestly.
Jaden Ivey, and man, you had to love the way he started last year.
And had become a bit of a clutch player, too, making last-minute shots on the road against Sacramento, a 4-point play right at the buzzer to win a game. It was really tragic to see him suffer the injury he did on January 1st that just undercut his whole season. But it said a lot about the Pistons, their ability to bounce back from that and be so good and make it to the playoffs. But, man, if they had him, you got to believe that they would have even been better and had an even greater chance to advance in the playoffs. He just has to, first you want his health right. I thought last year he'd made tremendous strides in being able to slow his game down and know when to pick it up and then when to pull back a little bit, sort of like a pitcher, can't fastball everything. I think he needs to continue in that direction, and he'll be just fine.
Yeah, so many young players on this team. We could go on. We could talk about Holland. We could talk about Thompson. So many good players. I do want to get to your camps. If you had to tell parents, hey, this is what your kids would get if they came to one of these three camps, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say, you're sending them for basketball. We know that, and we're going to give them plenty of that. But it's not. I don't think it's the way to lead and the way to use your platform if it's just basketball. All of us are mature, and we know that the game is that life is about more than just games. So we spend a lot of time talking about that, encouraging the kids to work hard in school, show respect for your elders, choose your role models and your friends wisely, do all those things to try and build the entire self. Everybody's blessed with great potential. It's just upon you to find it, increase it, and let it be an asset for both you and your community.
We're going to put that up on the screen, GregoryKelser.com/basketball. There's also a QR code right there which you can scan. You see the three camps right there. 2 camps, July 28th through August 1st, one at the United Wholesale Mortgage Facility, one at Southfield A&T High School, the other one July 21st through 25th at West Bloomfield. I think what you just talked about, you live the life, and you've lived it for your whole life. I've covered sports and life. So many of the decisions and so many of the ways that you have to live, they coexist. They go together.
I am so glad that my parents put me in sports at a very early age, because the things that I have learned, the things that the game has taught me, the ups, the downs, how to be resilient, all of those things have come through participating in sports and also being a team player. You don't get anywhere in this life by yourself.
Amen. Good stuff, man.
All right.
Always great seeing you.
Thank you, Dan.
GregoryKelser.com/basketball, July 21st through 25th at West Bloomfield. 2 camps July 28th through August 1st. One at the United Wholesale Mortgage Complex, the other at Southfield A&T High School. He's been doing it for a long time, and he does it well, folks. Check out those camps.